Anyway, yeah.
Corey,
Well,
you
we're
can't rely on
so...
Corey to be funny consistently.
I know, right?
On camera.
Drew Barth's with us. We're recording. We're going for it. I don't have any tour dates. I'm just staying home for the next few months, I think. Andrew, you got anything?
I'm going to be doing a New Year's Eve streaming show with Christopher Titus. And then, I don't know, we'll see. I might be on some more John Christ shows in the future, but keep an eye out. We'll see what happens. Oh, giggles.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Yes, that's a
nice.
Great background.
How did I ever live
awesome.
without this?
This is giving me traumatic flashbacks.
Drew Barth,
you're gonna get
with
the same
us,
amount of laughter as you would in giggles, so it's gonna be good.
I am the prodigal son of this place.
Are you headed? You got anywhere you're going anytime soon?
I haven't been to our storage unit in a while, which is down the hallway. So I'm pumped about that. Yeah, it's
nice.
They've had a lot of
book your flight yet? Airport's getting pretty crazy right now.
Who books that?
I'm working with the booker right now, and they're trying out comedy right now. I mean, there's still it's mostly dark and filled with boxes, but I think it's got potential because the angles are just right. And I'm like, if somebody came in here, put a coat of paint on this, maybe more than one electrical outlet, then I think this could be an actual comedy club.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I'm on board with it because I'm not ready to go out into
social distance in that.
No,
Okay.
definitely not. It's more of a kill room, death box kind of thing. So it's more of a danger comedy thing if that's going to be taking off at all. I don't know, Andrew. That might be right up your alley. Are you going out amidst all of this craziness?
I've been touring. I do like 3 weeks at a time ish, and then leave like a month or two in between in case I get sick. I don't have to cancel a ton of stuff. I get tested before and after, and play it mostly safe out there.
Play it mostly safe. What is the mostly safe?
Yeah, I was just in Oklahoma. I don't think they know there is a virus in Oklahoma. They just
you might see some.
There's a lot of concerning.
Their governor had it too, which is funny.
Are you seeing like some varying levels of quarantine and prevention, and based on different parts of the country?
Yes, I am seeing that. I mean, even people, just the. I keep, I feel like I've done enough research and I do enough things that like a quick merch transaction, if I'm wearing my mask and they're wearing their mask and stuff, but sometimes people just kind of linger, and it's like I don't even like that in normal time. So it's like people linger and they want to be like, Seattle, where you from? And I'm like, SeaTac. They're like, I grew up in Green Lake, and you're like, this conversation, we're never going to talk again. So please.
By the way, how is your one point of relevance the area near the airport?
Right. SeaTac, exactly. You heard of it? Yeah, that's where I landed. Yep, that's correct. Well, anyway, we aren't going out on the road for a while. It was the short of it. But subscribe to Patreon and all those things. Drew Barth, very easy to spell. And he and I have a virtual show next Sunday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Everett Comedy Night. Maybe we'll put tickets in the description for you guys to get tickets to that. And here we go with the podcast. 3-second pause. We don't like to edit, Drew. We just
So it's feel free to laugh, cry, or just turn off the Zoom in the middle.
Fair enough. Yeah, doesn't matter. 3-second pause.
All right, great counting, Corey. Welcome to Homeschool number 20 with Cory and Andrew. For Cyber Monday, Cory is offering a deal. If you send him a DM, he will take 100% of his clothes off.
Oh, I think we meant 100% off my clothes that I sell. But, just as a thanks for listening to the podcast. First person to message me will win a free T-shirt. From Andrew, actually. He's going to send that out. We would put this at the end of the show, but we don't think anybody will make it that far. So,
plus, they can already see like 90% off on your OnlyFans for free.
That's true. OnlyFans.com/Cory Michaelis comedy. All right. But
does that make money?
No. I mean, for women,
him.
for women
Oh.
and
attractive
people that are going for it for real. Mine's just a goof, but yeah. Our Patreon's just $5. That's it. Patreon.com/homeschool. And, shout out to the patrons. Everyone on the Patreon, message me for a free beer koozie. And maybe Andrew will send you one too. I don't know. Thanks for chipping in. We really appreciate you. We'll throw gifts out once in a while. Join now. Or maybe do a bonus episode soon. Something crazy. I don't know.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Hey, the war on Christmas this year includes bioweapons. It's very exciting. Coronavirus cases are spiking everywhere, but that didn't stop me from going on tour. I'm the bioweapon.
Oh, boy. Thankfully, the CDC is introducing new guidelines that say that you only have to quarantine for 7 days if you get a negative test because they decided a 14-day quarantine was too much to ask, and nobody was following the rules anyway. They just didn't really want coronavirus to be an inconvenience for people.
That's nice of them. That's like offering a shoplifter a 50% off discount. Well, I was going to get it for free with no repercussions, but I guess 50% is fair.
Speaking of which, all of this, you just came from California and in Oklahoma. Isn't that like against the rules or like what's going on here?
Hey, if they want to arrest me, I could use some press for my career. Why are the mayors the only ones getting news stories about their hypocritical behavior? This is ridiculous.
That's right. Yeah. Well, every story is about the mayors because nobody expects anything from you, right? You sound like a little Fox Newsy over there, Andrew. What's the problem?
Hey, no, I don't watch the news for information anymore. I just watch the NFL, right? The NFL is like a coronavirus experiment with people who we know will not die. I mean, they might get a little brain fog, but that's just from the concussions. Plus, it's televised, and it's the only thing actually accurately reported on, right? MSNBC has like a 50% truth rating, but the NFL injury report is 99%. So that's where I'm basing all of my decisions.
I see. Comparing yourself to athletes. Interesting.
Absolutely.
So far, players have played with the virus, but there's no evidence of it being passed to anyone on the field during a game, which means you're probably safe with short interactions like, tackling a woman full speed in the grocery store who's trying to get the last roll of toilet paper.
Absolutely. Yeah, you just got to be careful or you get penalized for illegal use of hands.
Oh, boy.
She took a knee. Okay, who's with me? Go long. All right.
At least we know CTE helps limit the spread of the infection. So that's good for you.
Good. Feeling good. Hey, Netflix's new hit show, The Queen's Gambit, is increasing the popularity of chess around the country. Chess.com is reporting record-breaking traffic 3 times the usual amount.
That's kind of funny that record-breaking is just 3 times the normal amount for chess.com. It's like,
yeah, apparently 3 people logged on to chess.com the other day. It's a new record. Man, if only chess was this popular when I was in high school, I could have been a cool, popular prom king.
I doubt it. Chess being cool doesn't make your back acne go away.
Checkmate. But thankfully, I'm having the same amount of sex as I did in high school, so it's working out fine.
Plus, most of the kids in high school would have still thought you were a bit of a queen.
Hey, good night, folks. Where's a rim shot?
To be fair, the only action I got in high school was from the bishop and those little horses.
Hey.
How do I do that?
Hey, California's banned contact sports, which means the San Francisco.
That's still going.
Oh, what?
That music was still going.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
The whole time.
I don't hear anything. That's funny.
Have you guys done that?
I don't know if that did anything.
I don't know what that song was.
I don't know what these buttons do.
We're going to owe money for whatever that song was, I think. There's the rim shot. That one was the rim shot. That last one. There it is.
Green's the rim shot. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Rim shot.
No.
What are these?
Anyway, That was crickets.
All right. Okay.
To be fair, the only action I got in high school was from the bishop. Are we still doing this joke? And those little horses, too.
Hey, Enumclaw reference. Guy fucked a horse. Hey, California's banned contact sports, which means the San Francisco 49ers have to play their home games in Arizona, which has twice as many cases. I don't understand why they're banning the NFL. That's the only thing actually testing and tracing.
Right? Speaking of contact sports, a swingers party in New Orleans is in the news after 41 people tested positive. Talk about a super spreader event.
Hey, you'd think a swingers party would know the dangers of asymptomatic diseases.
Right?
Also, nothing bad ever happens in New Orleans.
Also, I don't have a joke for this, but 41 people? Jeez. People racked up more partners that night than most people do in an entire lifetime.
Yeah.
Or Drew in a month. I don't know.
Hey.
Cory on a Wednesday.
Someone in El Paso won a $9 million lottery ticket, but El Paso has one of the worst coronavirus outbreaks right now. I bet the number got that high because all the previous winners died. Couldn't claim their ticket.
It's also got to be a tough ticket to redeem. Like, how lucky do you feel? Just head down to the busy 7-Eleven where no one's wearing a mask and claim your lottery ticket. But to be honest, if you've eaten a 7-Eleven hot dog, you probably are immune to coronavirus anyway.
Yeah, it's got some stuff in there. Hey, congrats. Here's $9 million. You can't leave the country or your house. All the stores are closed. Nobody has a job. And thanks to the news, everyone knows where you live with $9 million. Introducing Survivor El Paso.
Think about how many taquitos you could buy with $9 million, though.
Ben & Jerry's pints of ice cream. That's what I get at 7-Eleven usually.
I just saw, speaking of 7-Eleven hot dogs, I saw on the news that Rudy Giuliani farted in an election hearing. I saw that on the news.
Yeah, that's what news is right now. I'd be honestly more surprised if he didn't fart.
Right, in a whole meeting. It's also a nice change to not have that hot air coming out of his mouth. So.
Oh, it still came out both sides. But hey, I just learned that if you email dumpsterfire@hey.com, you can watch a live stream of your email printed out and then conveyed into a literal dumpster fire. I think I've been accidentally emailing this thing the whole time. That explains why these comedy clubs aren't getting back to me.
Hillary Clinton's emails?
And they're all closed down, but you know.
And they got your tape.
Yeah.
He tries to send it without his video, but Clemson football coach Dabo Swinney has been acting like an expert on COVID in recent weeks. If you saw that.
Is that his real name? Sounds like a racial slur.
You Dabo. It's actually a
Dabo?
nickname. Also, I'm not taking advice from someone who chooses to go by Dabo.
Yeah. Well, good news. We don't have to take his advice. Scientists have announced the Moderna vaccine is 94% effective and prevents serious illness in 100% of people. So far, only one person has died in the study, and they got a placebo. Do we get to choose which vaccine we get? Did they give the high efficacy one? They're going to be like, Andrew, you're a comedian. You get like the 74%. We don't really care about you.
How pissed would you be if you got the placebo? You'd be like, God damn it.
Oh, man. Why is that guy not a hero? Like that guy's name should be everywhere. He died as a sacrifice to our country.
Right.
Regardless,
also,
Cory will just say he got it anyways.
Also, stop trying to convince people to get the vaccine, right? Just thin the herd.
Right. Cory's been saying his herpes goes away also. He just says whatever he wants. It's all fine. What are we at here? In the herd? Hey, Bush, Clinton, and Obama are going to get it publicly. Do you think that'll help public confidence in the vaccine?
Oh, I thought you meant herpes. I don't know. Okay. What's the big deal anyways?
Bush is he's going to get it publicly?
Yeah. I don't know what the big deal about all this is anyways. It's just the flu. Like, we know that, right?
Yeah. I remember every flu season where we run out of refrigerator trucks for dead bodies. By the way, that reminds me, fuck, marry, kill. Obama, Clinton, or Bush, but I want Drew to go first.
Okay, you guys are not part of the list. All right, I'm gonna go with see, I probably want to fuck Trump, marry Obama, and kill Hillary. No, wait, that sounds right. No.
Which Clinton? Well, it was Obama, Clinton, or Bush.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Which Bush?
G-dubs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Not GH.
Makes it a little bit more difficult. I'm probably just gonna. I'd probably kill HW and I'd marry Hillary, but I'd probably fuck Obama. Damn. Yeah.
I like that you went with Hillary Clinton. That's great. I'd fuck Bush for sure. I'm a big fan of older women.
I don't even think about Bill really anymore. And plus I assumed that he would just fend off anything that I threw at him because it's just too distracted by something else.
I think he'd like you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been on Epstein's plane a few times. I'm sure he's down for some fun.
Andrew, what about you?
Let's see. I think Obama, you want to marry him. He seems like a stable guy. Clinton, you want to fuck him. I mean, he's got the saxophone tongue, so he's going to be pretty talented at a blowjob, I assume. And kill off H.W. Bush.
Okay, fair enough. I'm into it.
Corey's texting. Corey's sending a dick pic to George W. Bush.
To George W. Bush.
He just texted a whole bunch of women. He's like, no, I swear I don't have it. Whatever it is you're asking about, I don't have it. You got it from
the Greek Orthodox Church. This is a good segue. Greek Orthodox Church ruled recently that yoga is incompatible with Christianity, which is
Have you seen the body of Christ? He looks like every vegan dude with a man bun who wears hemp overalls and 5-finger toe shoes while stretching in a city park.
Yeah, he's perfect. Also, this is all weird to me because at my Christian college, downward facing dog was how we did the Christian loophole.
Hey.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count if it's in the butt.
Plus, after every yoga pose, you can yell out, nailed it.
There, you got it.
Hey, the ambulance industry is overworked and at the brink of collapse due to coronavirus. And what if we just allowed garbage men to pick up COVID patients? They're making their rounds anyway, and it would free up all the refrigerator trucks.
Sounds like a very good idea. I suggest that you tweet that out and put that on your Facebook page tomorrow. We'll see what happens.
And then probably we'll leave both of you on the side of the road.
We're trash. A story that leaked from the White House includes a list of names who Trump might pardon, including himself, his children, and the Tiger King, which is perfect. They're both sexual predators, habitual liars, and have been accused of federal crime. So,
are way past their 15
really
minutes.
Wants to leave. Yeah, Trump really wants to leave a legacy of pussy grabbing, but. Hey, wow, this is crazy. This is another homeschool exclusive report. We found even more names Trump is going to pardon. Trump was considering pardons for the year 2020, Clorox, and William Hung.
What? Fuck that. William Hung deserves the death penalty. I don't know what he did.
Absolutely.
But,
Speaking of not William Hung, in these trying times, it's important to support small businesses like my penis. It's been laid off from getting off.
Oh, that's too bad, man. That's also the worst joke I've heard in a long, long time.
It also might have to do with your alcohol.
Yeah. I got a couple issues to work on, but what can I say? God broke the mold when he made me. He was like, "Woo, not doing that again."
All right.
I just spilled beer on it.
That's our sponsor. For this week, we actually can clone your penis at cloneawilly.com. Just make sure you tip, right, Drew?
I had one job.
Remember the jokes we made from the pre-show meeting?
Yeah, this thing is such a well-oiled machine. I didn't want to get in the way.
Usually,
is this episode being done on a dare? Just out of curiosity.
yeah.
Like, were you both aware?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we do this by choice. Yeah.
Really? Do you have guns to your heads right now? Blink if you guys need assistance.
Blink twice. Well, anyway, that's our joke. Now we get to talk to Drew. Very excited to talk to Drew. Drew,
I don't think I want him on the podcast anymore. All he does is make fun of me.
No, you guys do that yourselves.
It's perfect.
I know, you're right.
Good. We were talking in the we were talking in the tour dates that don't exist time for about Andrew's. You were just in Oklahoma City with John Christ, is that right?
John Christ. Man, I didn't realize that he was as famous as he is. I guess I didn't really. I knew that he was like selling a lot of tickets, but I thought it was like just churchy kind of stuff. And but he's got like a couple million followers on social media, and he's a really big deal.
Is it all really clean shows?
Yeah, so it's really funny. His story is really interesting. He came up in like the church comedy circuit, and he got really famous, I guess. And he was about to have a Netflix special about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then people found out that he was hooking up with girls on the road and sort of cheating on his girlfriend.
Uh-oh.
And as a Christian, how dare you? And he got all this bad press, and the Netflix just canceled his special that was like already filmed and ready to go. And they just said, we're not putting it out. And so he he talks about all this on his show. So I'm not speaking out of turn or whatever, but he like went to rehab for a couple months or something like that, and got away. And now he's, I think, making his comeback tour, but he can't really sell. I mean, you can't have a big theater. So the best you can do is like a comedy club with about 100 people that's built for 300. And
he said, get me Andrew Rivers.
Well, what's funny is all of his regular openers were unavailable. I think they were all doing like corporate stuff for Christmas here. And actually Cory turned it down, and because he had some well-paying corporate gigs. And so the club just hired me. And it was funny because in the green room before the first show, like, I know that I have to be clean. And, whenever someone says clean, you're always like, what is your definition of clean? Is it church clean? Is it whatever? And so he's, and he
Christ,
also,
so.
Right. So I also thought, like,
in the time of COVID, everybody wants extra clean now as well.
Right.
Yeah. You just want me to come out covered with,
Yeah.
So he's like in the green room, and I go, hey, I'm Andrew. I'm opening. Nice to meet you. And he goes, I know you. You used to tour with Adam Norwest back in the day, and you came through Denver or something like that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's crazy. And so he's giving me and the MC kind of a pep talk of like, and I've had this before where they don't necessarily know you and they don't believe in your talent. So they just kind of like, they're kind of like, he's like, hey, if they don't like a joke or something, if they boo you, just say, hey, I didn't know it was a clean show, or I didn't know I was supposed to be this clean, or I don't know, whatever. And in my head, I'm like, I did a dry bar. I think it should be fine. But I'm also like, maybe they're going to crucify me. I don't know what's going to go on here.
I hope you said that.
And so, so I thought like,
don't crucify me. Jeez, guys.
I was real nervous actually. It's cause but then I go out, and the MC CJ, I forget his name. I'll look it up in a minute, but super funny MC from Oklahoma. And he's bombing for the first couple minutes of his set, and he's doing a bit, and but then he recovers and just does well the rest of his set. And I was like, first of all, that's really a good comic to bomb for 3 minutes at the start of a show, and then still recover. And then I was like, okay. And then I went up, and it was great. It was fine. And it was a great show, and it was the easiest audience you could ask for. And And then I kind of like, as we got more comfortable making fun of each other, I kind of like made fun of them for being like, just be clean. And if they don't like a joke and blah, 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 so it was a lot of fun.
And
did
you feel like the audience was kind of tight the whole time and kind of waiting for you to cross the line, or?
No, what's funny is sometimes when you open for a celebrity, you've done a bunch of these gigs too, where you're the guy stalling until they see the guy they want to see,
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes that's the energy. Like when I've opened for Titus,
all right,
if you don't get them in the first couple minutes, usually they go like, all right, when is he coming out?
Never had that experience.
But there was not any of that at all. They did. The only things are like, even some clean jokes, they're a little edgy, and so they
for you,
like,
what is edgy clean for you?
Yeah, I'm curious what the most edgy thing you said was, or is there anything that got a groan? Or
like what is something that you would say is like right at the line, and the last minute you'd be like, you know what, I think I'm going to take this out because that's probably going to bother somebody.
So one of the lines I do is a perfect example of a joke that really does well with most crowds normally, but they kind of, I think the first show, even one table tried to like actively boo me during the joke, but it was really funny. So I go, I was talking about an ex-girlfriend. I go, after we broke up, I was replaced by a dog, which is refreshing to know the relationship wasn't my fault. She just needed someone that would obey her commands. And so that one got groans almost every show, or like a little bit of tense, like, but Thursday night, this one, a lady table was like, boo. And I just moved on,
Now, literally, this is probably going to sound salty or snarky, but I don't mean it this way. Do you think that joke was too dirty, or just hit the room wrong, or just like
I think it's just a little bit of I think the connotation, without knowing me, or I don't know, their own sensibilities, they probably think it's
misogynistic,
chauvinistic, maybe. Yeah, exactly. And so that's probably the reaction.
I think that'd be
some
perfect
audiences,
for a Christian crowd.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Because I feel like that's an important differentiation, though, because I feel like some people will think that clean just means purely just devoid of like things that you could say on,
right.
Things that would.
Now he comes out and talks about wanting to kill himself. He does it towards the end of his show, and they're there for him. So he can get away with that more.
But that sounds totally different. Right. Honestly, come on. I mean, that sounds totally different than saying that, women would treat men as dogs. I mean, that's going through your own personal thing, no matter how messed up it is. It's still, that's a lot more you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I just thought the, I thought the subject matter, I was nervous about subject matter. Like if I do a joke about like, me and my ex, we tried to keep things spicy in the bedroom. We always played a game that was her favorite called Sexy Librarian, which is where I'm not allowed to talk and she reads a book instead. And I thought like, they're going to be like, premarital sex and bad and boo and, whatever. But as it kills, they just go, all right.
Exactly. Because you also are totally the butt of the joke in that. And that gets to be, I mean, that gets the audience on your side.
What
as opposed to the other one where I'm like making fun of the girl and being like, she just wants to boss me around or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You take on the persona of just like the kind of the stereotypical male, and that's just not you.
Right.
I'm surprised though that it's an interesting Oklahoma conservative Christian group of people. It's funny. It's funny who people profess to be and who they aren't. Because I bet you a lot of those people would be like, ugh, feminists. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they, ugh.
I mean, they certainly were like, mask, So
right.
Yeah, it's true. Because when you
so if you break it down,
that could be such an identifier of kind of like, I get the feeling that I know what sort of material will work based on some other indicating context clues you provide.
Right. But then you do that, and then you're like, it'd just be funny to have a conversation with them and be like, you're a feminist, right? What? Yeah, you are. I mean, and that's great. That's but so am I, and but this has such negative connotations of like, I don't know, feminazi things or whatever.
And plus, anybody that laughed at that joke would then have to be endowed with agreeing with that opinion, and boy, that would probably make a whole bunch of dudes not want to laugh at that if they felt like they were going to not get laid that night.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny.
Yeah.
But in a regular crowd, the joke does well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I do
typical
have
crowd.
a built-in saver for the line. Where I go, a lot of people don't like laughing at that because they don't know her or whatever, and then the follow-up line is always like, this one always kills, where I go, we were hanging out recently and I was like, I wonder if the dog knows any tricks. I go, hey boy, speak. The dog was like, help me. I go, oh, I get it. And so that stuff always kills, and which is funny because it's the same attitude the whole way through, but it's just a little friendlier and a little wittier maybe, and a good misdirect.
And it's specifically about her who they don't know, as opposed to about all women.
About women in general. Yeah.
I actually used to do a thing where I would do an impression of a girl, and then I found that it actually would really get saved by getting to the end and saying, like, by the way, I understand that is a terrible impression of women, but it's an amazing impression of one woman.
Right.
And that just that makes it a lot easier for people to laugh at it, because it's like, I'm not laughing at all women. I'm just laughing at his story about this one
woman. Yeah.
That makes it that much easier for me to do.
Funny. Similar. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny. Was it you used to do like the voice in the shower, or like, I don't, is that the thing?
Yeah, the high voice. Yeah. And,
yeah.
The next girl's going out dancing when I don't know. I want to dance with other guys, and you pay $40.
Would you be nervous in a show like that, or like anxious at a show like that, Drew, if you were like, a Christian comedian and squeaky clean, and would you just be like, oh, this is perfect, or would you be like, ugh, what do I don't know what to do?
I mean, I'm not seeking it out, because I agree it does also have a tendency to invite a little bit more of beyond just conservative morally, but also kind of conservative politically, and then that can also just kind of, sometimes my content could just be at odds with that, but I know that I can deal with any audience for cleanliness.
Right.
But,
Right.
That's what I was thinking too, is like, I cut like one or two lines out of jokes here and there of like some, like one of the jokes I make fun of the church, or I was at a bar, it was Easter Sunday, so I figured, what would Jesus do? Probably get hammered.
Didn't work too.
I'm like, I don't even want the fight that will come with that joke. So
it's honestly, it's just not worth it. I mean, for me, like I don't want to get like on a soapbox about clean comedy, but like really there are just a couple of things I'm always amazed about, like that people will say, regardless of, and that people will clench up about. Like, I think that if you say goddamn on stage, get ready for at least 10% of the asses to pucker a little bit, because and they're going to be only thinking about that. If you take the Lord's name in vain, people will latch on.
Damn it. Oof.
Yeah.
What's really funny is one of the shows I opened,
but if you damn
by
God.
saying something like goddamn, like,
oh no, and I guarantee you, people will only think about that, or at least somebody.
I immediately went like, oh shit, why did I say that at the
Oh,
it was like I was making fun of them for like not clapping enough, and then they started clapping more, and then I got, goddamn right, clap, and then I was like, oh fuck, I hope that wasn't loud enough,
I hope he didn't hear me.
Yeah. I don't care about you guys, but he judges.
Just so you know, I cleared it with him earlier. He's fine with all this. He's really,
I'll pray on it.
Success.
I'll ask for forgiveness.
Yeah, come on.
It's funny. I had a couple jokes that I thought about later that I was like, oh, I could have just tried to, but it's my first time opening for him. It's my first time. Like, let me just kill and get the nod of approval. But
like, let me just kill, and then we'll just go for. Let me just absolutely crush and fucking destroy.
Right.
And from then on,
fucking murder it.
We'll figure
and I'll do
what I want to do
experimenting.
Yeah, I'll believe other opportunities. I'm going to go out there and just lay to this future opportunities I get. Then I'll kind of fuck around. But for this one,
right? I mean, that's the goal when you open for a celebrity, right?
Fucking siege and just lay my giant dick out mid of fire. Is that pretty much it? Cool.
Yeah, you get me.
Totally. I know what that's about.
Listen. You've seen me on stage. I do a decent here and there.
Totally. I've always described.
I mean, you probably don't remember it because you got a brain injury, but
it's not, I swear this dent is getting a little bit larger though, and I'm not quite sure who I see about.
Is your head caving in still? Is it?
I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I may have some Pangea shit going on. It's kind of shifting around. I think I may have a new continent forming out around here. I'm also considering. I saw just a YouTube video about putting on a whole bunch of masking tape and then kind of popping it out like that, like a car door kind of thing. So
I've never got that car door thing to work. I got
Yeah.
when
no,
we were in
I tore the
Idaho,
shit off of my paint though.
I tried it on my head. You lose your hair, dude. Don't pull the masking tape.
The only way to get that back is with lots of sex.
Well, if you tie your head to a car door and then slam it shut, it's like taking out a tooth, something like that.
That might be a thing.
That's how you get rid of your baby hair.
We're not just, by the way, calling Drew dumb. He actually got hit by a car and got a brain injury. So he got lots of injuries. Actually, I don't know all the details.
The video of me and Kermit doing our bit on your recovery show or whatever, that's one of my most popular YouTube videos.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, that's awesome.
People are searching for your name and accidentally coming into my channel.
Well, it's great. Also, I think people also just love seeing anything that has to do with kindness these days. Yeah. And that was really sweet. I really appreciated that. Honestly, when I was recovering from my accident, I was saying to my wife, I was like, look, this comedy community is so damn supportive and loving, and these are not nice people typically. There's some really shitty people out there, but it's kind of really nice. So it's
like Andrew's on the show benefiting me. I don't.
To be fair, Andrew titled the video "Brain Dead Comedian Tries Comedy Again." So I might. It wasn't exactly kindness, but it was whatever.
But it was just video of you.
It was me and Kermit.
Clip of me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It was the thing me and Kermit did where he drew a bunch of sketches of people getting hit by cars, and then then I told his jokes. It was fun. It was great.
That was great. No, it was a good show. It was I don't.
How are you?
I'm okay. I mean, I don't fully know, I guess, all the ultimate long-term effects that'll have. I think every day I kind of wake up and I'm just kind of like, it's fine. So I think it'll be that for probably the rest of my life, which is a mixed bag. I mean, I've chalked it up to every time I go to the doctor now. That's kind of like an immediate disqualifying factor for anything I come in with. Like that kind of, if there's normally like a progression of things you would go through, the doctor now just looks down and is like, oh, you were hit by a car? Well, okay, it's probably this. That's probably it. Like I feel like it's like when you take like electronics in and like the like warranty
car probably
void
had
sticker.
HIV.
It's good save. It's like if like like the warranty is void sticker like on the bottom of electronics. If you open it, like we're not responsible for anything. I think that's what the thing was with the helmet. Or it's like with my brain, it's like you're not supposed to open that, and if you do, I don't know. Shit, I hope you get a new one.
No guarantees.
Yeah. So, but also at the same time, that's balanced with just kind of also every day being really grateful and all that shit. But I don't sleep very well. That's the one thing that really kind of sucks. That I cannot sleep through the night. I get about 3 hours in, then I wake up like a shot at 3 a.m. and then I'm awake for about an hour or so, like on the couch until I can fall back asleep for another couple hours or so. And I miss sleeping in bed with my wife. So. But at the same time, I don't feel right. And she misses you, by the way. She not your toenails, because that's an issue. Based on the rest of what I'm seeing on Zoom, I'm guessing you're a fairly well-kept person at this point. So, and if you, by the way, are holy shit, wow, are you?
I shaved my head in March, and then I've just let it grow ever since then. So,
are you doing the stage revival of the movie Airborne? Yeah, got it. Cool.
Air Bud.
Got it. Yeah, it does. Like you do have a fairly golden retriever-ish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That long-term effects, that must be anxiety, nerve with COVID too. Where people are like, it's got long-term. I'm like, it's been 6 months. Like,
dude, seriously. I mean, honestly, the long-term thing is what frightens me the most. And honestly, I think that everybody who is like, well, the survival rate's pretty high. I'm like, yeah, but you hear about the people, the long haulers, like all the people that are dealing with whether it never dropped off or kind of the bizarre sorts of after effects that you deal with. There's nothing more frustrating than realizing that there's some part of you that may never quite work the same way again. It's a very, very traumatizing, humbling feeling. There's actually one video of me because when I got hit, so my head hit the truck, and then threw me like 30 feet or so, and then I landed.
And you've seen surveillance video of the actual.
There's a small bit of surveillance where you can see me like leave through and walk out onto the crosswalk, and then I leave the frame, and then you see my body like roll back through. And
thank you.
It's so very much like I have like no connection to that. I have no idea. Might as well just be another person. But but when so I hit my head on this side, and then hit the other side of my head on the pavement. Flew like 30 feet or so, and then then I had a broken shoulder and a broken knee, and I had a collapsed lung in the field, so they had to inflate that.
Wow.
Which that's like the only scar that I have. I have a scar right here that looks like I got shivved.
Damn.
Which actually covers up the other shiv scar that I have for the quick stretch I did down in St. Quentin.
From Giggles, when you had to earn your stage time. Absolutely.
Yeah, they won't let you name a sandwich unless you do at least 5 to 10 years down in maximum security.
This is a very different level. So, and this is all your head. This is like this idea of like it might not ever work again. Like my knee might not ever work again the way it did before, because the doctor was like, you're just not going to regrow that cartilage. It's not possible. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. But like, this is your head.
Yeah, and especially the moment that I was able to like really start thinking about comedy and everything. I remember, like the first day or so, I was in the hospital, but I was thinking that I was like trying to run through a set in my head, at least how I would normally structure bits, just because I've written it down, but like it all works just kind of in my head.
Right.
But I did, just to get back to
you've sort of inspired me that way. I've written down most of my bits word for word. That way, if I'm ever in an accident, I can be like, oh, that's how I told that.
Just put them all together. And then also, if you need, you can just have the people in the audience just wear the bits like on, just hand out t-shirts ahead of time and just be like, hey, you all need to sit in this row over there. Exactly.
Like those guys at football games that spell out the word.
Exactly. It's like, wow, my t-shirt says big tuppy asses. Interesting. I can't wait for this. I hope I get called on. Actually, it's a fun idea.
Defense.
That'd be a fun idea, wouldn't it?
You gotta move over
there.
Hey,
you gotta switch around, actually. You guys are
also, you guys have to give me $25 after the show. I forgot to mention that part.
That's a great way
of buy the t-shirt.
Do you want to participate in my show and be like a part of my set list? Well, buy some swag ahead of time. You might be toenail clippings.
Oh.
That's really good. Like that. If somebody's not writing,
you might be. You might be. Mine shirt just has a picture of a dick on it, so that's.
That's just Cory, cute. That's just Cory's business card.
Yeah.
It's a 6x8.
They can blow up They can blow up anything, Cory.
I want to try clone a Willy. I want to try clone a Willy, but with a dildo that I already own.
Wow, this one came back even blacker.
Like, who is this guy?
Wow, this one has a lot of pixels on it.
Veiny.
Web resolution.
That's fun. So, what are you doing without comedy?
I'm going nuts.
What's your life
dude.
like?
I'm honestly kind of going nuts. Like I'm really starting to get on the periphery of just needing more of an outlet than I've had, which is pretty much none. I mean, honestly, amongst all this, I've been very fortunate in that my wife has a great job at Xbox, which is not losing business anytime soon. And just
did you get to hook up on that new Xbox, or how does that work?
Yeah, we got the new Xbox.
Selling those for money. All right.
But by the way, have you seen the thing going around of people like trolling people who are selling Xboxes on Craigslist to like be like, so it was like, hey, I got an Xbox for sale, and it's like, hey, are you selling? It's like, yeah, $900. It's like, great, I'll meet you at the Denny's over on like 3rd Street. It's like, great. It's like, where are you? It's like, I'm in the parking lot. Okay, I'll see you. It's like, oh, okay, go to the very end. Yeah. Do you see the dumpster? Okay. screw you for trying to make $900 off an Xbox. Have a nice Tuesday. And then just peace out.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
The old internet gag used to be you send them directions to a comedy club and then they go, okay, I'm at the comedy club. Okay, go inside and tell them your joke of a price or whatever. Something like that.
I thought that was how you got people at your shows.
Hey, I offer them free tickets. Okay, I offer them free tickets. So.
Giving away PS5s.
I mean, even when they lift the pandemic restrictions of 25 people in a crowd, I still will not sell out. So, it's fun.
Man, I don't need an Andrew Rivers beer koozie this badly.
No, not at all.
I tried to give away back. This is funny. I was golfing today.
What's great about selling merch is that someone else will get it in the will after they come to my show, then I can get new fans that way.
That is a super spreading idea.
Today I was golfing and after 18 holes, they're like, you can pay $10 and play longer. We went in and we're like, hey, we want to keep playing. They're like, just go play. And it was like
we don't care.
Nice girls at the bar, and we were like, that's cool. And then we went back in to watch the game. I guess not really thinking. We thought we could like get a drink and watch the game inside. And they're like, you can't be inside. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess not. But you guys are just standing here. And they're like, well, we work here. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Anyway, hey, thanks for letting us play. Hey, here's some beer koozies. Thanks for being cool. And they were like, the fuck is so like. And they immediately, and I go, oh, did you guys go to college? And the one goes, no. And I was like, oh, this is, because they say collage. So I was going to just be like, sometimes people don't spell it correctly. Oh, I get it. That's fun. But no, they both immediately turn it over where it says, follow me on Instagram. So they both just immediately turn it over. And I'm like, oh no, not that side. Turn it over. It was a joke. You know what? This didn't go over as well as I thought it was going to go over, but thanks for letting us play.
Cory just brings his merch in. He just hands his merch to strangers that he meets.
And they don't want it.
In public.
It was and my buddies who were playing with me.
That's $25, by the way. It's $25.
Yeah, also, my Venmo is... And then my buddies were like, oh, that was, I could see how you thought that was going to go over well, but it did not. And I was like, yeah, I know. Wasn't great. But, what are you going to do?
I could see how you thought that might work.
Hey, I just got followed by one of them. Nope.
Yeah, you know what? But also, Cory, that you almost get a better story out of it than even.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's not like I was going to kind of have any communication with these humans ever again anyway, so why not get
Hey, come to my show next week up at on Zoom,
those were free except for the immortalization of your existence in my
Hey, want to come to my virtual show? What? No, I'm a comedian.
I tell jokes
yeah,
through my webcam.
Like
yeah.
We don't have a computer at the plant.
My webcam.
I perform on my webcam. Follow me on OnlyFans. Oh God. All right.
Lonely.
Oh God. All right.
Lonely fans. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Lonely fans. Hey, I had one lonely fella buy a photo from me, and then
that's true. Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal.
Really? What do you sell most of?
Yeah. I've only sold one, so it was just a photo of my penis. But I offered him. He wanted more, and he wanted he
so
was
did
like,
you.
"Send me a full body." Yeah, I did. I did also. I wanted more penis.
Yes.
That's
he
the
wanted
joke.
more.
Right, cool.
But that's all I got. So
I wanted
deeper.
I wanted more
deeper.
than 3 inches, but tighter. Mike Wally. All right,
it's
or
cold
whoever
in
he
here.
stole it from, but
he's one of our listeners.
Yeah, so he was like, send me a full body with your face in it, and I was like, how much do you want to pay for it? And he was like, you decide. And I was like, okay.
Ooh.
And so I set the price at $100, and he was like, oh, that's a little too expensive. And he was like, if you ever drop the price down half, I might consider it.
So for $50, just
cut
want
half your body out then, yeah.
A full shot of the full Rivers experience for $50.
You can't have your face in that. Come on.
I've been sending them for free for years, so I figured I might as well try to get paid for them.
And by that you mean just full body photos of yourself. No,
unsolicitedly. Yeah. That's my headshot
or
when I send
alluring.
to comedy clubs.
Yeah, something that was like, you know what I kind of want? A picture of Andrew that I could print out and put on the back of my door.
Yeah, I'm not even
Jordan
hard.
poster.
It's just,
Yeah. How about a shot of Andrew with his arms spread with like that Wings poster that everybody had? You holding a microphone in the other hand, just a.
I like it.
Yeah. That's pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
There's something there.
Yeah, I got good ideas.
Wow, the brain damage is really taking its toll, I guess.
I don't know what your excuse is.
Yeah, I tell you what, I wish I had a good one, but brain fog maybe. I don't know.
I already had ADHD, so honestly, I was kind of
right. That's the thing is they're saying long-term side effects are like, oh, you have erection, trouble erections or whatever because of blood flow, and I'm like, oh, I already have that problem, so that's easy for me.
Yeah, exactly. What are you gonna do? Put some more kindling onto the fire? It's fine. It's already on fire.
Make it softer than it already is. It's fine.
Actually, after my accident, I went to an occupational therapist who said, like, now just so you know, one of the things that can happen after somebody's had a traumatic brain injury is that they're kind of like their content filter is kind of removed a little bit. So you may find yourself saying some things a bit more often than used to, but it should go away. And I was like, okay, I work in radio. So, I mean, that's also, it's kind of okay. There's a lot of people who don't have that excuse to just spew bullshit all day. So
that's funny.
I feel like I'm in kind of a safe
Dory
space.
Monson.
Right? Exactly. I was like, first-hand experience.
Skippy.
I was gonna say you and Skippy gotta be headlining a show together now. Yeah, get a little gig going.
Well, no, you know what? It'll be the TBI comedy tour, and we're gonna give a showtime, and both of us are gonna get it wrong. 7 o'clock, and then Skippy's gonna get there at 5, and then it's TBD TBI night. Show starts at 7. One of us will get there at 8. The other person will order a sandwich and get lost on the way.
But you get to watch all of it.
True.
On Zoom
and VH1.
Is VH1 still a thing?
I don't think so. I don't believe so. No,
I mean, it's probably exists, but
probably shouldn't reference it in this old joke.
I was just thinking my DVR is filled with pop-up video episodes.
Pop-up video.
I mean, VH1 is on Amazon Prime. It just says with a quick Google. So
interesting. Well, that's like MySpace still exists and is making money every year, but people are like, "Oh, it's trash." Well, it's a company that makes money.
Did you hear that thing about how?
They say that about your comedy career too, but according to the government,
true.
you know,
I
don't make money
posting my videos on MySpace.
Cory keeps all of his money off the books, even off of his own books, which I think is very commendable.
Clubs don't have any money.
Sofa under the table. It's pretty much just carpet.
No evidence.
Yeah, he tried to launder his money and then he threw it all in the washer. And
ooh, I would open with that one.
Oh, thank you.
What were you starting to say?
I don't know.
A moment ago, Drew had a thought. It was maybe.
You know what the problem is that when stuff like that happens with my brain injury, I can't tell if something happened and I just missed out. Maybe I blinked out 2 seconds of reality, and maybe I'm like, what did the guy stop talking mid sentence? And they're like, no, he kept talking. You just kind of stared off in the middle distance for 3 seconds.
Do you have memory issues, or?
Yeah, a little bit. My short-term memory is a little bit messed up. It's just not as good as it used to be. And it wasn't. And like I said, I had ADHD, or I still have ADHD, so it wasn't that great to begin with. So, but
man,
yeah.
I remember
learning. Sorry, just quickly learning a new like complicated thing. That's hard for me. Like I
bet, yeah.
When I got back to Cairo, they wanted to merge my producer position in with being a board op as well. So they were going to teach me how to run a whole radio board, which I had no experience with. They were like, you produce all the way up until the show starts and then run the board the whole time. We won't give you any more money. And now they're losing people. Weird. But I was like, as they were trying to like teach me things again, there was like a sequence and like it was all down to the minute. I mean, with radio, it's so tightly packed,
right?
that there's just no real room for error, and I would just have like anxiety watching this guy teach me. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna miss one of these buttons. I'm gonna hit the wrong thing. It's gonna go to a commercial, or I'm just gonna all of a sudden I'm gonna dump the Cars for Kids ad 9 times in a row, or it's just something's gonna get messed up, and it's literally dollars by the second. And fortunately,
when you started doing stand-up again, was it? Yeah. When you started doing stand-up again, was it like difficult to remember your bits, and like when you're trying to learn a new joke, is that like extremely difficult now?
It's not too hard for learning a new joke, especially because because I've written it all and I've kind of already formed pathways in my head. But if I have to learn somebody else's something, I haven't done a ton.
Something that you don't care about.
If it's somebody else's shit, it's on them for not being more memorable.
That's why you were late to the podcast. You're like, what time was that? I mean, I don't really give a shit, but it's fine.
I worry a little bit though about memorizing lines. Like that's the one thing that I mean, I was always okay at it, but I worry a little bit about what will happen if I get cast in a larger role or something, because I am going out for stuff. But
yeah.
Are you like active? Are you doing auditions? Are the auditions on like Zoom still? Or are you,
I did a Zoom audition 2 days ago. Yeah.
There was a guy who had a Zoom audition that went viral on Twitter where the director was shit talking his apartment.
Oh yes, I heard about that. Yeah. His mic was on the whole time. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the director's mic was on, and he's going, "Look at this fucking guy's apartment. What a piece of shit." And the actor was like, "Hey, I can hear you." And the guy was like, "I am so sorry." And he's like, "I know it's shitty. Just hire me for the gig, and I can get a better house. Like,
get a bigger apartment." That's cool.
Please."
When I was 15, I started working on cars, and I'd never like done any work on any cars, and it was just so funny to watch them teach me how to do things like check the brake fluid, check the coolant levels, check the power steering, all these things. And I was like writing notes and like trying to be like really and they were like, what are you doing? And I was like, well, I don't know where any of these things are or what they do, but I'm gonna remember. So I never really learned a lot about cars, but I just knew where everything was and what they needed to be. And so I did really well, but never.
You're the only person at Jiffy Lube that knows how to work on a car.
So it's like you're somebody who has studied like the Grey's Anatomy book a lot.
Exactly.
But I'm not a doctor.
But I don't ask me to like know anything, like because customers would be like, "Well, you think this is?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know any of that.
I don't know how those are related." Yeah.
But the brake fluid is always in the back right. That's what I know, and it's supposed to hit that line. And that's
I can tell you
that's a bad sign.
I can tell you how angry you're going to be when I tell you what you need.
I can tell you most of the people in here are lying to you about everything you need to have done. You can trust me, because I won't lie, because I wouldn't know how to.
Well, what is the overall what is the motivation behind that kind of stuff? Is it just that is there sort of an edict that comes down? It's like we don't want to do anything without paying tons of money for it, or is it try and gouge if possible?
Yeah, I mean, I told them, I said, I cannot sell anything if I don't believe that they need it. So you teach me how to
lie,
how to know that they need it, and if they need it, then I'll sell the shit out of it.
That's cool. I like that.
The way it really kind of worked out was most people need stuff done to their cars because they don't change the transmission fluid on time. They don't change their belts on time. They don't do a lot of those things on time, and so there was a lot of cars that needed stuff, which was nice for me to not have to make stuff up. But there's a lot of I was like the high commission guy all the time.
Oh, so there's commission though.
There's commission. So yeah, if you sell an air filter, you get a buck or something like that, or 50
and
cents.
The other New Balance shoe drops.
So and then there was other things like, and some of this was like good for your car, but like underfill the engine oil by about a quarter to a half quart, because 2 reasons. One, overfill is way worse than underfill for your engine and leaks and things like that. But also, that's a ton of savings. A quarter quart to half quart for every car that comes in. And if you get
adds up
50 cars a day, that's a ton of money. And also when you start a car, it sprays on the inside of the engine, and then when it finally seeps down, it's usually like a little bit higher. Anyway, so there's all these things that
whatever helps you sleep at night.
As long as you can. That's what I needed. I was like, you help me sleep at night, I can sell it.
I totally get that. Absolutely. I've seen many a person as a waiter come in, and I'm like, you know what? You look like you could just use a steak. That's what I think that you need. Like, I know that you're saying chicken tenders, but you look like you want a porterhouse. So, come on.
Well, I wish that I would have. There were so many degenerates that worked these places, so it was just an interesting. There should be like a reality show at those places, because there's like cars that get driven into the hole, which is happens, a couple times a year, and the cockiness of the people that work there is just so funny. And then you see
it would sound like Morse code. It would just be so many beeping throughout. They're like, the audio engineer's like, we can't use any of this shit. It's just all profanity the whole day.
One guy I was probably at this point 17, 18, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't had sex yet. And he's like, whoa, fucking, you're a virgin? And I was like, I don't have 2 illegitimate kids that I'm fighting over and getting my wages garnished for. It was my first like roast, like not first ever, but like an adult.
If he could see you today.
Was about, like, and I was like, and I like went, like I was freaking out that I had said it, but he was like, yeah, good point. Come on. He's like, come on, man. I was like, you come on. You talk shit. I'm just retorting to your shit talk about me.
I may not have had sex, but you did it bad.
Yeah. He was the same guy.
Pull out that dipstick, buddy. You gotta leave a quart. You gotta leave a quart empty.
Quart. No.
Good.
How do you do it wrong? He also, one time, I remember this was so funny to me. This is shitty, but one time he was like showing photos of something, and I was like, oh, that's cool, man. That's a good looking car. I was like, that car's awesome. And he was wearing his work outfit, and I was like, for whatever reason, I just was like, oh, had you worked that same day that you were working on that, something like that? And he's like, no, what do you mean? And I was like, oh, you're wearing the. Never mind. You just always wearing
the work outfit.
Texaco free shirt that we give you.
It's like when you go to it's like when you
oil
go to
stains.
Yep.
It's like when you go to a Goodwill to pick out clothes for a costume, and you're like, what's standing there? It's like, this would be so funny. Somebody next to you is like, can I wear that?
I just donated
every
that. Oh. Your shitty apartment.
What's his name with the purple jacket or something? What's his name?
Purple jacket.
The Goodwill jacket. The local comic has a Goodwill joke.
Jeff Lott? No.
I'll think of it later.
Dwayne Goad.
Joe Vespasiani.
There you go.
Is it? What's Joe up to? We should check in with Joe. It's good.
Easily one of the funniest people that most people don't know about. I feel like he's the epitome of the comics comic.
Yeah.
I hope. Would you like to be known as a comics comic?
Yeah. Would you? This is the debate: is would you rather be underpaid or overrated? You know.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I'm already underpaid, so it seems fine. You know.
You don't have to worry about the other one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like, the comedy that makes me laugh is what I'm trying to do. That's kind of I think where we should all be aiming is because if you're not having fun and the audience isn't having fun, why are we here?
And the audience won't enjoy it if you're not having fun. Like
right.
I mean, you can both say and testify that like if you look like you're just having a miserable time, nobody's going to enjoy it, no matter how funny it is what you're saying.
Right. And if you're half-assing your way through bits that you don't really like, they're not into it either, you know? Imagine telling a joke that you're like, I mean, I hate this, but this will get them on my side, and then that bombs. And then you're like, well, what the fuck was the point of that, you know?
Hold on. Corey just did like a Christmas party at a budget or something, and he wants to chime in with his opinion.
I would want to be like a Gary Gulman comic, not like who's that guy that always bombs but people love him and laughs
Barth?
Books him.
Nobody books me.
And
Neil
books him and he wears glasses and
Neil Hamburger.
he wears glasses, and he did like the State of the Comedy address a couple years ago. And
Andy Kindler. Yeah,
there we go. That guy. Yeah. I don't necessarily would want.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily want to be that.
his whole shtick is bombing for some reason.
But I don't know. So yeah, but I don't know that anymore. I mean, it depends on how. This isn't totally true. I don't know anymore that you can have ingenuity and be good at comedy and be struggling really badly. Am I wrong about that?
You can't. Wait, sorry. You can't.
If you have ingenuity and you're good at comedy, I feel like you're gonna do well.
Over time,
I can show you my bank account.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm touring
based
during
on that
pandemic for a reason.
Present
so,
time excluded.
I'm fucking 38. I feel
Dry
like
Bar actually pays us, and if
sure, yeah, okay.
if
Dry Bar.
all the if there's not a global pandemic,
sure,
and you have ingenuity,
yeah,
and you're good at comedy.
But so how would you define ingenuity then? I'm curious.
Well, there's a lot of people who are really, really good at comedy, but they have no motivation. They don't try and get work. They scoff at things like Zoom or virtual shows. They don't know how to try and sell tickets and sell out at a venue on their own. They scoff at advertising on Facebook. They scoff at all these things that, you gotta figure out how to do that shit.
It works.
Sell merch. Honestly. They scoff at selling merch. They scoff at I guess maybe not ingenuity is the right. Maybe there's another word.
A drive or
I would say hustle.
Drive and hustle.
Because I 100% agree with that. I think the holy marriage of talent and hustle or drive or ingenuity, like those things together, are tremendous. And honestly, the thing that I would say that there are a great number of comedians that would say that they have drive, and it's that their drive is in the exact same gear that it's been for the past several years. So it's not necessarily evolving or moving with the time. So I think the ingenuity part of it is certainly important. But I've also seen people
when we started doing like theaters and Facebook advertising and selling our own tickets with the Dry Bar stuff, like that was like I couldn't get comedy clubs to book me, and so I can either just quit comedy,
right?
Yeah, or I can
just make it for yourself.
Figure it out.
I think that is tremendous, and I think there are a lot of people who are out there who are still trying to like go out and just kind of work kind of the traditional way that they've been doing it the past several years, and just trying to book or at clubs and such. And just you both seem to really acknowledge the fact that just the overall landscape of comedy and kind of what this overall medium is going to look like is just changing, and the people who are going to just be reticent and stick to their guns and kind of be like, well, fuck, I'll just wait until it rolls back around towards me. That's just kind of a stupid way to think. I mean, if cream
will rise to the top, and then and it's like, well,
yeah. Or I mean, honestly, if you just
and
if you expect the world of comedy to just sort of return to normal, and then all of the players will kind of move back into their place, I just don't. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen, and it's certainly there's going to be a crazy, weird expectation from audiences, in my opinion. I'm worried a little bit because I'm such an observational kind of based dude that I wonder whether or not, I think I mentioned this actually the time I was on the show before. It's like, will that sort of be devalued just because, like, how do you complain about something mundane against the backdrop of millions of people dead and this just absolutely horrendous thing? I mean, is it just telling jokes in front of a fire? Or in just
you go to states where they don't believe the virus is real, and then you don't have to worry about it.
That's great, and then you never have to go to those states again because they won't be there.
Yeah.
They won't have leadership.
It's
governors and mayors will die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to go there. You're gonna go there, and you're gonna work for gas. That's what's gonna happen. We're gonna pay you in gas and water, and then we're gonna give you a club with some spikes on it.
Right. I mean, like, comedy was the business of comedy was already evolving to like TikTok stars and to like YouTube stars and stuff like that. So, I mean, that was the push that got me to be like, I kept opening for Tom Arnold and being like, why am I getting paid way less than him when I'm much better at this particular part of my job?
Mm-hmm.
And, at a certain point, you're like, well, Tom Arnold sells $30,000 worth of tickets, and you're like,
sure,
oh, okay,
yeah, He had
so then you're like,
a body of work.
How do I do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did Tom say?
Hey,
Tom, quick question. Why do I make so
this?
much less money than you?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen
He
your
asked
comedy.
if I lived
I'm
in
better
my
than
car. And I worked with him twice. I picked him up from the airport one time, and then he was like, "Do you sleep in this thing?" And I was like, "I mean, yeah."
Wow, Tom Arnold just made a comment on your living situation. I don't know what that means, but he was very, also maybe
Can this guy get a bigger car? It's tiny, little shitty car.
You know what? He was also he's probably a very shifty dude, and he's very sensitive to being in a small space. So that could also that could definitely be it. Tom Arnold came and spoke on, was a guest on Tori Motz's radio show and talked about how, when he worked on The Apprentice,
Sure, they had a lot of political stuff to talk about.
Yeah. That John Lovitz.
Lovitz.
Yeah, I could probably name drop all day. That's fine. We'll leave it for later.
I've never met these people. I just know their names. And John Lovitz, heard of that guy? Well, shit. I hope we get to go back out and do some live comedy, not the too distant future.
Yeah, I miss you
instead
guys.
of just virtual stuff, And
I'm
do
predicting
like that,
April in the West Coast area. I'm predicting April will be the day.
What in what state
level
that is supposed to still be there?
Like the West. I'm like the other states are already. Who cares? But I mean, as far as like Washington, Oregon, California, they've kind of got the pact going.
Nice, cool.
What state of
I predict
what level?
April. Oh, I just mean like I'm sure it might be until I'm betting summer we might get back to full capacity, but I bet we'll open at like a third capacity in like April to like because I think what did California just say? I saw a story. They like, oh, we have 600,000 doses of the vaccine to give out in December by the end of December.
Yeah, but Kanye bought half of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just for Kim Kardashian's ass. She's
These vaccines are dropping tomorrow. The only vaccine that's going to be available on Tidal.
Yeah. Hey, I finally found something I use. Yeah, you have to buy one of his Yeezy sneakers to get it, but every third sneaker gets a vaccine.
You want to be a part of the future?
Giveaway.
You get one of these.
Hey, listen, if you want my vaccine, I'm giving away my vaccine on the Patreon. You got to sign up. That's the $10 level.
Can I get vaccinated from Kanye?
I think actually that miniseries, The Stand, that they're making it's just going to be Kanye at the end. They're all there to fight Kanye.
It could be.
Wait, what?
What's
the stand? What is that miniseries?
Stand. It was a kind of the most epic book that Stephen King wrote. That was all about kind of the end of the world.
Okay.
The end times.
Yeah. Crack a book sometime, you guys. You'd enjoy it.
Stand up.
Man,
the stand up.
Have you heard of the internet?
Stand? Is that like a book about that alternative band from early 2000s? Because I'd be kind of down to
Stand.
get emo.
That's a good song. Didn't they just do a parody of that on SNL?
The SNL was great, man. The SNL thing was amazing.
I'll have to watch it after this. Anyway, I hope we get to go do live comedy soonish. Let's take the vaccine, and I'd love to see you in person. But it is fun. I should do, and we just did this, and we caught up with you. But there's more people. We should just get on Zoom and just hang. And,
I love it. Yes, please.
Not for the need of a podcast necessarily, just bullshit. So
I like it. Knocks the rust off my brain.
Drew Barth is at Drew Barth Comedy or at Drew Barth on all the things?
At Drew Barth on Twitter, and then my website is I now own drewbarth.com.
All right. Now,
hey,
what happened? Who'd you know? What happened?
Well, there was a Japanese site that was putting up pictures of fruit for a long period of time, and I tried to buy it, and it was something like $3,000. And then I was like, I don't really need it that badly.
Yeah.
And then it finally came down to $50. I was like, that works.
That's reasonable. Huh. Mm-hmm. How about that?
Should have just hit him with your car.
Andrew J. Rivers on all the things. I'm Cory Michaelis Comedy on all of the things. Thanks everybody. We will see you next week. Also next Sunday night, come to a virtual show. It'll be in the link will be in the description. Bye.